disseminated intravascular coagulation or DIC. DIC is an acute, subacute or chronic thrombohemorrhagic disorder characterized by excessive activation of coagulation and the formation of thrombi in microvasculature. So DIC is a thrombohemorrhagic disorder. It can be acute, subacute or chronic. And in DIC there is excessive activation of coagulation and the formation of thrombi in the microvascular. So DIC is an acute, subacute or chronic thrombohemorrhagic disorder characterized by excessive activation of coagulation leading to the formation of thrombi in the microvasculature. Two major mechanisms that trigger DIC are release of tissue factor or other procoagulants into the circulation, and second is widespread injury of the endothelial cells. So release of tissue factor or other procoagulants in the circulation and widespread injury of the endothelial cells, these two mechanisms triggered DIC. So this is the pathophysiology of DIC. The causes are massive tissue destruction, products of conception, sepsis and endothelial injury. This all will release tissue factor. So because of massive tissue destruction, sepsis, products of conception and endothelial injury, release of tissue factor will be there. Massive tissue destruction, endothelial injury, sepsis and products of conception will lead to release of tissue factor. Endothelial injury will also cause platelet aggregation. This release of tissue factor or platelet aggregation will cause widespread microvascular thrombosis. Tissue factor and platelet aggregation will cause widespread microvascular thrombosis. So tissue factor का रिलीज और प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन के कारण वाइड स्प्रेड माइक्रोवास्कुलेचर में थ्रोम्बोसिस होता है, एंड दिस लीड्स टू एक्टिवेशन ऑफ प्लाज्मिन and also leads to consumption of clotting factors and platelets. Widespread microvascular thrombosis will activate plasmin. Plasmin will cause fibrinolysis. Fibrinolysis means fibrin split products. See, thrombosis होगा तो प्लाज्मिन एक्टिव होगा. प्लाज्मिन का फंक्शन होता है फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस, तो वो फाइब्रिन को डिग्रेड करेगा. तो जो फाइब्रिन स्प्लिट प्रोडक्ट्स होंगे इट विल कॉज इनहिबिशन ऑफ थ्रोम्बिन, प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन एंड फाइब्रिन पॉलीमराइजेशन. सो फाइब्रिन के स्प्लिट प्रोडक्ट्स प्लेटलेट्स के एग्रीगेशन को इनहिबिट करेंगे, थ्रोम्बिन को इनहिबिट करेंगे एंड ऑल्सो फाइब्रिन के पॉलीमराइजेशन को इनहिबिट करेंगे. एक्टिवेशन ऑफ प्लाज्मिन विल कॉज प्रोटियोलाइसिस ऑफ क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स. क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स की प्रोटियोलाइसिस और बिकॉज ऑफ इनहिबिशन ऑफ थ्रोम्बिन, प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन एंड फाइब्रिन पॉलीमराइजेशन, बिकॉज दीज थिंग्स विल बी इनहिबिटेड, तो इसके कारण ब्लीडिंग होगा. ठीक है. एंड ऑल्सो बिकॉज ऑफ कंजप्शन ऑफ क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर एंड प्लेटलेट्स, ब्लीडिंग विल बी देयर. And because of microvascular thrombosis, there will be vascular occlusion, which will lead to ischemic tissue damage. Vascular occlusion causes microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. So the causes of DIC are massive tissue destruction, products of conception, sepsis and endothelial injury. This will cause release of tissue factor. Endothelial injury will cause platelet aggregation, and these all will cause widespread microvascular thrombosis. Thrombosis में clotting factors will be consumed and platelet aggregation के कारण platelets will also be consumed, जिसके कारण bleeding होगा. And because of thrombosis, vascular occlusion होगा which will lead to ischemic tissue damage. बिकॉज ऑफ थ्रोम्बोसिस vascular occlusion होगा which will lead to ischemic tissue damage. Vascular occlusion leads to microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. थ्रोम्बोसिस के कारण प्लाज्मिन एक्टिव होगा, वो फाइब्रिनोलाइसिस करेगा और जो फाइब्रिन स्प्लिट प्रोडक्ट्स है ये थ्रोम्बिन प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन और फाइब्रिन पॉलीमराइजेशन को इनहिबिट करते हैं. ऑल्सो जो प्लाज्मिन है वो क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स का प्रोटियोलाइसिस कर रहे हैं. सो यहाँ पे भी क्लॉटिंग फैक्टर्स ख़त्म हो रहा है और यहाँ पे थ्रोम्बिन प्लेटलेट एग्रीगेशन फाइब्रिन पॉलीमराइजेशन ये सब इनहिबिट हो रहा है. सो दिस ऑल विल लीड टू ब्लीडिंग. Disseminated intravascular coagulation syndrome, in which systemic activation of the coagulation leads to consumption of coagulation factors and platelets. So because of systemic activation of coagulation, the platelets and clotting factors will be consumed. It can cause bleeding, vascular occlusion, tissue hypoxemia in various combinations. So DIC can cause bleeding, vascular occlusion and tissue hypoxemia. Common triggers of DIC: sepsis, major trauma, certain cancers and obstetric complications. So triggers for DIC: sepsis, major traumas, certain cancers and obstetric complication. Morphology: thrombi are more often found in brain, heart, lungs, kidney, adrenals, spleen, liver in decreasing order of frequency. So most common in brain, then heart, then lungs, then kidney, adrenal, spleen and liver. But any tissue can be affected due to thrombi. Affected kidneys may have small thrombi in the glomeruli that evoke only reactive swelling of the endothelial cells, or in severe cases microinfarcts or even bilateral renal cortical necrosis. ठीक है. सो अफेक्टेड किडनीज में जो ग्लोमेरुलाई होंगी उनमें छोटे छोटे थ्रोम्बाई होंगी. These small thrombi in glomeruli will evoke only reactive swelling of the endothelial cells. Severe cases में it will cause microinfarcts or even bilateral renal cortical necrosis. So in severe cases जो glomeruli में thrombi है it will cause bilateral renal cortical necrosis. Bilateral renal cortical necrosis in severe cases. Numerous fibrin thrombi may be found in alveolar capillaries, sometimes associated with pulmonary edema and fibrin exudation, creating hyaline members reminiscent of acute respiratory distress syndrome. In the central nervous system, fibrin thrombi may cause microinfarcts, occasionally complicated by simultaneous hemorrhage, which can sometimes lead to variable neurological signs and symptoms. In meningococcemia, fibrin thrombi within the microcirculation of the adrenal cortex are the probable basis for massive adrenal hemorrhages seen in Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome. So in meningococcemia, fibrin thrombi within the microcirculation of the adrenal cortex are the probable basis for massive adrenal hemorrhage seen in Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome. So Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome में massive adrenal hemorrhage होता है, and this is due to the fibrin thrombi within the microcirculation in the adrenal cortex. So in meningococcemia, fibrin thrombi within the microcirculation of adrenal cortex are the probable basis for massive adrenal hemorrhage as seen in Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome. An unusual form of DIC in association with giant hemangiomas, that is Casaback-Merritt syndrome, in which thrombi form within the neoplasm because of status and recurrent trauma to the fragile blood vessels. Okay. Casaback-Merritt syndrome This means it is an unusual form of DIC in association with giant hemangiomas. Okay, that is known as Kasabach-Merritt syndrome, in which thrombi form within the neoplasm because of stasis and recurrent trauma to fragile blood vessels. So, Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome is related to massive adrenal hemorrhage, and Kasabach-Merritt syndrome is related to giant hemangiomas.